Hey folks, Eric here, the Whatever Guy, because whatever me. Do you folks want to know why you shouldn't use FedEx and why I need your help, or why cannabis and hemp people in this realm need your help? Y'all stick around and I'll tell you some more about that. As you guys know, I shoot videos 5 or 6 days a week, basically keeping you guys updated on the world of Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, hemp, cannabis, and just what's going on around. Having said that, we are giving away a Rift brand Delta 8 syringe, 1 gram Delta 8 syringe on September 6th. I am going to get these from Great CBD Shop. You guys can click the link in the description. Prior to this, this was a buy one, get one free when I first started advertising it. Great CBD Shop doesn't have this as a buy one, get one free anymore. They've got other stuff as buy one, get one free. But because I advertised it like that on September 6th at 12 noon, somebody's going to get one of these sent out to them, or excuse me, two of these sent out to them. And I'm just going to go to Great CBD Shop, use my code, whatever, 15% off, and I'll get two of these and I'll get these sent out to you guys. So you guys smash that bell notification, smash that like button, and smash that subscribe button. As you guys know, got a lot of news going on, man, in the world of Delta 8, Delta 10, hemp, cannabis, and what's going on around. Having said that, we are shooting a video contest this year. Winner be picked on December 25th at 12 noon. You guys can win $100 cash. I've got a few videos out for that already. As you guys know, you can shoot those videos in anything you want, man, for 2, 9, 10, 12 minutes, somewhere in there. Send it over to Eric at thewhateverguyshop.com, thewhateverguyshop@gmail.com, or thewhateverguyhandyman@gmail.com. You guys send those videos over. I'll post those up, and you will get some views on those videos. As you guys know, we do have a few of the videos of that for that contest. One of them's from over at Emma Anderson over at leafystock.com. You guys check her out. And also, I've got two more from longtime viewers on this channel that have decided to create their own YouTube channel. So you guys go over and support them. One of them is I Love You Dad, which he owns Terpene Station. So you guys check him out. He's actually shown me a really cool way to make videos, something that I didn't think about. And Brian Jude at Hemp Reviews and Stuff. You guys go check him out. He's doing some really good stuff over there as far as reviews and stuff that he's getting out. So anyway, so moving forward, we'll move forward to the FedEx story here in just a second and talk about that, and then we'll also talk about basically the problem that I'm having right now. NC State panel passes proposal to legalize medical marijuana. So it looks like the state of North Carolina, will be having some sort of medical marijuana in the future. So apparently, it's passed a Senate panel and it's headed towards somewhere else. I think it's got one more Senate panel it has to go through, and then and then the Senate will be voting on legalized medical marijuana in North Carolina. And that's simply and North Carolina needs to catch up with what's going on over there on that East Coast right there, because there are some states that are around it that will affect its tourism because they have recreational marijuana, i.e., Virginia and places like that. So those states that are over there are scrambling into a position where they are trying to get some form of legalization, maybe possessional carry or something like that, legal possessional carry or something, simply because they don't want to lose that tourism to states that are, heading over to Virginia or somewhere else to pick up their marijuana. Um, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So they probably need to go ahead and get with the ball game and get that all figured out. At Snoop Dogg, man, Snoop Dogg. As you guys know, those guys make a lot of comments and stuff like that. Me and my chick were talking yesterday about old bands and stuff like that, and so I've got some news on some bands or some band information, music band information from back in the day. Snoop Dogg apparently makes a statement. Basically, what he says is the athletic organizations ought to allow athletes to use weed as an alternative to opioids, says me and Snoop Dogg. As you guys know, I'm a proponent for Delta 8, man, and obviously I'm a proponent for, not using opioids, and that's the problem we have in this industry right here, is that in the past when we were talking about CBD and we were talking about the prohibition on drugs itself, not so much now because we're moving forward, but in the past, CBD owners and stuff like that had a hard time pitching CBD products simply because it's hard to pitch a product that, even though it's getting down to the root of the problem and healing it from the inside out and doing more beneficial things for you, it takes a long time for CBD to start working. It's got to get in your system. It takes 21 days. And that was the conundrum that CBD owners and stuff like that were in, because you're pitching a product that takes 21 days for you to get some sort of alleviation out of it, as opposed to them being able to go to the doctor and get an opioid prescription written for them that would mask that pain right away, even though it wasn't providing anything else beneficial to it whatsoever. It would just mask it for a short amount of time, allowing people, these pill doctors and these pill mills, as they call them, to basically expand and basically front out synthetic heroin. My understanding is that that stuff is so um, bad that you can take it one time and your body craves it from that point on, and it would take a strong person mentally to not get hooked on opioids. So Snoop Dogg is right, man. I'm a big proponent for that. You guys take that as you see it, and hopefully we can get more people off of opioids and onto a more natural remedy, like marijuana, like cannabis, like hemp, like CBD, like full spectrum hemp oil and stuff like that in the future. So hopefully as time moves on and education gets broader and acceptance gets broader, should be able to maybe change that stigma in the future. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I find it hard to believe that we're the country that actually creates most of this synthetic heroin, man, that we put out on the streets and we complain about it like that. Ronnie Wood is the first member of the Rolling Stones to pass away. Rest in peace, Ronnie Wood, man. And for those of you that are not into music, the Rolling Stones are a big time mover in the music industry, especially back in my day. So I think Keith Richards and those guys, the other Rolling Stones guys, are in really good shape. I'm not sure what's going on, with Ronnie Wood. I think he was 80 years old, so it's not like he didn't live a good life. But again, Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones passes away. You guys take a moment of silence for that and think about that, especially if you enjoyed the Rolling Stones back in the day. All right, man. So moving forward to this story that I was running across with Miggy over at Cannabis Legalization News. He was the first one that actually brought it to my attention, and this is actually something that's been going on for quite a while. For those of you who don't know, basically it's cops dressing up like FedEx drivers, basically to bust people for marijuana. For those of you who don't know, see, back in the past, um, in the illegal market. Now, don't take any legal advice from this by any way. What I'm talking about here is just strictly for educational purposes. Don't don't use any ideas that I put out here, to do illegal activity. However, let me say this: what I have seen lately, and there is a rise of local manufacturers or small time guys out there or people out there that are growing marijuana at their house, and they're actually now shipping it and I think they're getting away with it a lot more now than they were before. And so I mean I've been hit probably, I don't know, 8, 10 times in the last month of people that do not that are not companies that are actually sending me prices out for quarter pounds, and all that other kind of stuff of marijuana. And inevitably, what happens is when I talk to them or they talk to me and they contact me, and I'm looking at their menu and their prices and stuff like that, they will say something like, "Hold on, let me get back to you." And then when they find out I'm in Florida, they realize that they can get it to me. And basically, what I'm doing is I'm buying illegal cannabis over social media, and they're shipping it to me right to my house, and most times getting away with that. In the past, as you guys know, we used to always say, man, don't ship your stuff FedEx, don't ship your stuff DHL, don't ship your stuff this. But in reality, when it boils down to it, those are the companies that you're going to get busted with more, because you have more rights with the United States Postal Service than you do with anything else. If you guys are, if they were going to ship marijuana, I would probably rather them ship it with um, the United States Postal Service rather than FedEx and stuff like that. Because I remember back in the day, local cops around my area not having anything to do, and on their lunch break, man, they would just go over to FedEx and stand there and watch these boxes come up and down the conveyor belt. And for those of you that don't know, FedEx has a little known agreement with law enforcement that allows them to come into those buildings and just stand there like that and look at boxes that come by, and just pick any box off the shelf, set it down in front of a dog that they trained. Okay, by the way, and say that dog hit on that box, and allows them to dress up as a FedEx driver, deliver to your house, and then basically come into your house without a warrant, man, and basically know that they're delivering marijuana to your house. Uh, that's a really, for me, thinking about this story and remembering the days back in the day when these local cops that, I'm talking about small town cops, I'm talking about cops from like Pine Hill, Alabama, you know what I'm saying? Don't have anything to do on their lunch break. They would go stand in the FedEx building and watch these boxes come down the conveyor, and they would just be able to pull any box off the thing they wanted. You couldn't do that at the United States Postal Service, okay? And so basically, what this boils down to, if you go to Reason Magazine, there's a story in there about a guy named Hubert Green. Apparently, Hubert Green is a cop, and he was standing in FedEx, and he had his dog there, and he sees a box come down the rail from Brownsville, Texas, and then it had glued seams on it. So he pulls the box off, and he says, you know, he puts it in front of his dog, and he testifies that his dog hit on this box. And for those of you who don't know, here's a little, you know, here's a little bit of advice for you guys. If you guys are getting pulled over, if you guys have a situation where law enforcement is going to call the dog, best thing for you to do at that point is to tell them that you want to know the dog's tail. Because if you didn't train that dog could walk up and sniff on it, and he could say that that was his tail, or the dog tail, as in, like, you know, tell you that there's something in this box. I have been in situations where I was even like in the county jail, and they came in and they searched, you know, everybody's stuff in the house, and they would just point at this, and the dog would put his nose to it. Oh yeah, yeah, he hit on that box. 9 times out of 10, man, that dog, he if he hits on that box, he has some sort of special thing that he does that alerts that officer that there is something in that box. And a lot of times that broad range right there, because you don't know what the dog's tail is, the dog wagging his tail or the dog flipping his ears could be a tail as far as he's concerned. He's going to testify to that in court, do anything he can to get inside that box to take a look at what's inside of it. And that's what we got going on this situation right here. We don't know what the dog's tail was. We don't know for sure that that dog actually did hit on that box, but you can damn well bet that that guy that, you know, the cop that pulled that stuff off of there used that. And Lace, what he did was he dressed up as a FedEx officer, delivered a box to the guy's house, and then went in the house later, okay, without a warrant, and was able to find that box and the residue of marijuana inside of it. And of course, the guy got arrested. And because he had a gun in the house, he got a federal trafficking charge. So you think about it like this: like, it shipped across state lines from Brownsville, Texas, to wherever this guy was at, the victim. Okay. And then, you know, the FedEx driver finds it because he's standing up there on his lunch break, piddling around. He got nothing better to do. He claims that his dog hit on the package. He dresses up like a FedEx driver. He delivers the package to the guy's house. And now we've got an arrested subject. And then obviously they're going to go in your house without a warrant and dig around in there. And because he had a weapon in the house, okay, now that's federal. I forget what they call it, trafficking with weapon or whatever the case is. And because it came across state lines, it's a federal charge. So this guy's going to do 5 years in prison, okay, for probably getting on Facebook like you can right now, or some of these Facebook groups, scrolling through, finding somebody that's standing there with a garbage bag full of marijuana and having that dude send it out to you via FedEx. My advice to you folks out there, man, is first off, don't be shipping the shit in FedEx boxes or anywhere else, even UPS. But if you're going to do it, UPS is probably your best place to do it. And there goes the whole thing about talking about these stories and stuff like that on YouTube. For those of you that don't know, I spent a lot of time being in, you know, Facebook jail, getting locked out of my YouTube account for 7 days. I've actually thought I was being locked out for 14 days ago, a day or two ago, and I actually won my appeal, which is strange to me because I've actually put 2 appeals in for 2 prior videos that I was hit on, and I still haven't got the appeal back on those. But I got the strike first thing in the morning. I appealed it, and by that afternoon, even though I posted some videos on my other channel, I found out that I won my appeal. And there goes back to my other channel. So I'm actually, I've actually got videos, that, 15,000 views, 10,000 views, and stuff like that. I'm not a big YouTuber, and that's simply because the YouTube algorithm realizes that I am in a controversial space, man. When I'm talking about cannabis, I'm talking about Delta 8 and Delta and hemp and stuff like that. They're not going to spread my videos out, or any cannabis videos. That goes for all of us. It's not just me. That goes for Brian Judy, HempReviews and stuff.com. That goes for Terpene Station. That goes for Cannabis Legalization News. That goes for LMC. That goes for whatever videos that you guys are watching on YouTube, or even Google for that matter, because Google owns YouTube. They are not, the algorithm is not going to share our videos out and get this information out the way they should, man. And so that's kind of why I need your help, man. So if you guys are out there, man, start sharing these videos, man, and not just mine. If you don't like my content, share someone else's, man. Get this cannabis news out there so people can see, man, because it's ridiculous the amount of stuff that's going on with the amount of information that's out there, and we're not, and for those of us that out there that are longtime heads, or old heads and longtime users, and want to use Delta 8 and want to do these type of things, we need to know what's going on in our realm. And a lot of times, like I said, this algorithm and Google and YouTube itself is just not going to share our stuff the way they would, say, somebody that doesn't have anything to do with this type of world. So again, you guys see these videos, man, share them out, do what you got to do. Um, it's just a crazy world out there when I see, some information that gets passed out there. It's like some of this information that gets passed out has nothing to do with anybody. And I'm a firm believer that anybody out there should be able to express herself. But let's be honest, man. They're not going to share my video as much as they would share someone else's. They're just putting any innocuous statements or any type of video out there. They would, they would show. I should be able to get the same amount of shares, or at least the same, rules apply to me that apply to everyone else, but that's not the case. I chose to get into this controversial subject, but I am asking you guys, if you guys have cannabis channels out there, hemp channels out there that you guys like to watch, hemp channels, information, whatever it is, you guys share that, man, to your friends, whether they want to see it or not, and let's make people more aware of what's going on in the world, because the only way we're going to move forward is by gaining knowledge, and that gaining of knowledge is only going to come by sharing of information. So you guys take that into account. Remember, don't use FedEx, don't use DHL, and don't use companies like that to ship your illegal marijuana across state lines, man. If at the very least, you would have to use UPS, because you've got, or not UPS, excuse me, the United States uh, Postal Service, simply because you have more rights in the United States. You're never going to see a cop walk in the United States Postal Service and be standing on his lunch break drinking a cup of coffee or smoking a damn cigarette, okay, with his drug dog standing next to him while the conveyor belt comes by. You're not going to see that at the United States Postal Service. Matter of fact, them cops ain't even getting in the back of that building back there to look around. However, go to FedEx, go to DHL. Those companies have an agreement with cops to allow them to do the type of shit that they're doing right here. This guy got wrapped up for I'm not sure exactly, I'd have to talk to the guy and find out exactly, but there's a lot of places out there that are shipping marijuana across state lines to people out there, and sometimes you might, just in the excitement of getting, some marijuana from somewhere now, without a medical license, whatever the case is, you might get lost up in the excitement of it. And this company that's sending this out, or this person that's sending this marijuana out, they don't give two fucks what happens to you on the backside. So you guys need to be careful about where you're getting your stuff, and at least try to stay as legal as possible, man. And you know what? You're only going to have to do it for a little while longer anyway, because eventually we are moving forward. This is a steam rolling type of thing moving forward, and we will eventually have legalized marijuana in the United States. We just have to wait for it to happen, folks. And you guys have to be patient. All right, man. I love you guys. I will talk to you guys tomorrow for the weekly wrap. I hope everyone's having a great week, and I will see you later. Bye.